Salut, salut les champions et les championnes. Welcome back to Le Parcours, a podcast where we get to hear about people's life, their path of life, what they do, why they do it, and who they are in general. So I have a guest today, and I'm just so excited to get to know him, and you guys getting to know him because I already know him well. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Most
Feel
welcome.
comfortable? I mean,
I am.
you are.
Love the place.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Should I mention the name, or you guys are supposed? I'm supposed to let him mention his name. Well, you can let the people who
Okay.
listen to Le Parcours know who you are.
Hello there. My name is Muhizi Deexon, and I'm an entrepreneur that is in the science field with a genealogy platform, and yeah, I'm happy to be here. Hopefully everybody is going to get to know me.
Well, I think they're really going to know you. So, Mr. Deexon,
Yes,
I want to
please.
know your early life and what shaped you to going forward where you are today. But I don't want it to be like a whole chain. I just want to know your early life. Like, where were you born from? More like your past. Yeah.
Okay. Well, one, as most Rwandans were refugees outside of Rwanda, my parents were. My mom, Burundian, Tanzanian, my dad is Rwandan, and I was born in Uganda. Born in Uganda, but we came to Rwanda in 1995, towards the end of 1995, which was kind of crazy because most people were just running away, others had just left. A few of us and some other families were just coming in from Uganda. Yeah, so I grew up here. I started my primary at Camp Kigali. Then I went to high school in a couple of Anglophone schools that were very few. So, yeah, I did Alliance High School and Nyamata, and then I did King David for
I did
about
King
a term.
David as well.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Wow.
was there for a term.
For a term?
I didn't like the uniform. It was green and white. I didn't like.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know if they still wear green and white though.
I know. You
Some-
actually came to gray
some
sometimes.
really ugly green.
It also came to gray and white, and then later on changed
Yeah.
shorts. I mean skirts to pants.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
So yeah. So I left there. Then I finished from Alliance, and then I did KIST 1 year, and then me and my parents went back to Uganda, and that's
Oh,
where
the
I
whole family went
finalized.
back to Uganda.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Okay. That was
By then that was 2009,
okay.
and I was still young, so wherever my parents go, I had to go. Yeah, but then I started moving back to Rwanda, 2012. I'd come for a few weeks or months, and then I remember 2015, the whole year, I was here,
Yeah.
and then I went back again and came back in pandemic.
You came back in the pandemic.
Yes, slightly before the pandemic.
Okay.
Then I stayed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so interesting how your life has been from one country to another,
Yeah.
Same
I
as school
mean,
to school.
And it's fun though. It's
Yeah,
fun.
it's
Sometimes
fun.
it's not really fun because as a child you're building friendships, and then after a few years you have to lose them just because the family is moving.
Yeah.
But later on we reconnected. Yeah, I've managed to meet a couple of them that I grew up with here. This time that I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what did you do in the uni, and how do you relate it to your life today?
Okay, so in high school I was in sciences, but in uni I did mass comm, which included a lot of basically communication, which ended up putting me in different careers, where I ended up into graphic designing, into filmmaking, and commercial creative work. Yeah, I still do it for fun right now. Sometimes it pays.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It still pays.
Yeah.
But yeah.
As
So
it should for you.
Yeah, so in uni I did mass comm, but with different courses in IT as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's the blend of communications and IT? Like, how did that come? Is there a specific reason why you thought of including also IT, or, you know, it came along the way as you're doing mass communication and some IT were required, and then you decided to go for it?
No, I've always loved IT. I've always loved tech. Actually, surprisingly, today I met a friend of mine from childhood with his mother, just right now in town, and he told the mother that this is the guy that opened my first email. And I think that was like 2000 and probably one.
Okay.
Yeah.
An email in 2001.
Yeah. For some reason, he even sent me the, my old email and some link to a site, a social site that used to be called MySpace.
Yeah.
He still had it. I'm like, you still have this little paper? That's about, over
20.
15 years, close to 20.
Plus
something.
20 actually,
Yeah.
plus 20.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've always loved IT. I remember my first time to get hooked onto it. It was our neighbor, a friend of ours up to now, actually, a friend called Chris.
Yeah.
Chris works with Inyanje now. When I was little, he had a small laptop, those mini laptops. And because I loved internet cafes, I was always there. So he would lend it to me, and then I just go with it, and then I don't have to be part of the line to wait for a computer to use. Yeah, so my interest in IT and tech was picked then. And today, I'm in between tech and science.
And science.
Yes, so my company is a genealogy platform, but mainly focusing in bioinformatics.
Genealogy platforms.
Genealogy, yes, to do
Okay.
with genetics.
Okay. That's
Yeah, some
interesting.
people hear genealogy and they think of other things, and I'm like, no, it's genealogy.
I don't want to go there, but genealogy.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
So, is there like something that happened to you in your childhood that sparkled that passion for tech or science?
Well, not really, but I mean, in school you just follow what you can do best, you know. So, as a student, I was good with sciences, and even when it came to wherever I used to be working in tech communities, I would be coming up with the right or better ideas from the rest. So it has just been building up up to now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but maybe what might have sparkled what I am today or what I'm doing today is the fact that I have a huge family, and up to date I still meet new family members. So, and that's how I ended up going back into my science world, whereby now as a genealogist, I wanted to find my people first. Yeah. So the first plan was that to find them, maybe I should just have an Excel sheet of every family member and their contacts, and I contact them.
Then you contact them one by one.
But that was way before even WhatsApp came, before the all WhatsApp groups and of family and all.
Yeah.
But then, as I was building that, 2014, I was like, maybe it would be better if I create a website for, So I started working on a website, but then I realized that like our culture in Rwanda, we have ibisekuruza, which is the lineage following. You get to know like your generations up to
the generations from
10,
way back.
20 is like, okay, if you get to 10, you're very good, but some people go up to 15 or 20 by names, That's almost about 1,200 years ago. So when I realized that actually I'm not the only one who needs that, and I said maybe I should make this into an initiative that every Rwandan can use.
Yeah.
And that's how I came up with my company, iGiTREE.
iGiTREE.
Yes, it rhymes like IGT and iGiTREE, but actually the IGI means igisekuruza tree. But I cannot say, that's why I say iGiTREE. And then people are like, is it IGT or IGT? And I'm like, it's iGiTREE.
So let me tell you a funny thing. I was thinking that you tried to mix up iGiTREE and tree. And you're more like iGiTREE in a way of sparkling up the name, but it's igisekuruza tree.
It's just cool as a tree, yeah. Because when you look at the family structure, cousins, uncles, aunties, grandparents, great-grandparents, second cousins. It does look like a tree with branches and, you know. And on my platform right now, people actually can build their family trees. So basically meaning they would get the ABC cruiser from here to digital.
To digital, and maybe and later on in generations they don't lose it and they don't.
Yes.
Okay.
Like your ABC cruiser, your past, if you document it now, 300 years from now, they will still find it.
Okay.
So I'm trying to keep a very huge database for a long time.
Okay. So what makes you, like, what do you tell those people that, you know, their lineage or their ibisekuru is, I mean,
Important?
no. Yes, important, but some even feel like it should be confidential. I don't know.
It is.
Is
the
there
thing is,
give anything of that?
Yes, yes. So the thing is, when you think of iGiTREE, some people think of it like social platforms. No, it's not a social platform. If it's your family tree, it's you and your family. I don't even access it. I only access mine.
Oh, you as well don't even access it.
Me, the owner of the platform, I kind
Of course
of
you
don't
can
have
see.
to, unless I want to get into. But there's a moment when there will be millions of people using it, you know. But no, I don't have to. But what I mean is that users, they don't have to see each other's unless they belong to each other. In simple terms, it's like you probably have a family WhatsApp group,
Yeah, we do.
right? So even if I find your phone open, even if I put myself in there, I won't last even a day, because everybody will be like, who is this?
Who is this
You
person
know?
exactly?
So I don't belong there, but I have my own as well. You know, you have your own. So it's not a social platform, but in terms of privacy, it's very, very secured. The whole idea is just to preserve the heritage, and also because you see, the world is changing, and there is a lot of information being fed to our minds that the culture is fading out, you know. So before the people that are aware of our culture and heritage leave us, I want them to leave us with that information saved, so that the ones who don't even know that they need it, one day they'll wake up and they'll need it.
Okay.
I normally give an example to people and I tell them, you're Rwandan, so you know this, that you have ibisekuru, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if I, for example, ask you of your grandfather, great-grandfather, yeah, that's your third generation, you probably know his name, right?
Yeah.
Do you know who he married? No.
No.
Do you know his siblings?
Some.
Some. You know?
Yeah.
Now, the people that actually know that information, that are very few, not even 2% of the population. Very, very few. Now, the one who knew, today as we speak, they're probably above 50s. Not even bother to tell the young generation, because the young generation is very, very busy. But I'm like, if we can be able to digitize that, we'll be able to protect people from many things that they don't even know. An example, if you don't know, let's say, if you know some of your great-grandfather's siblings, let's look at the ones you might not know. Not even just a sibling, even his cousins, because you got cousins.
Yeah.
He had cousins, you know, and those cousins, probably there are some children of their children's children, you know, and those are just 3 generations away. If I'm to marry within the same generation, it would be just because I don't know. That's considered intermarrying in the same lineage. And if we have children, that's inbreeding. And then the chances are high that these children are going to be born with genetic disorders, you know. If you've heard of the stories of the Mad Kings and all, it's because of the bloodlines were full of incest relationships, you know. They used to intermarry within themselves, you know. If you look at King Tut from back in the days, you know, very deformed, many, many things. So anyway, as Rwandans, I think our culture, they knew, and they came up with the ibisekuru. But today, most of us just think the fun is in just recycling them.
And the fact that we also had the genocide against the Tutsi, and you know, people disappeared, got in different countries. So you coming back and don't even know you're sitting with your brother or your sister.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's something that people should be considering. So as the founder of iGiTREE, like what are those top challenges that you met throughout in the creation of iGiTREE?
So the challenges never end in a journey of an entrepreneur. Yeah, but the basic ones, you have this vision of an idea and you can see it clearly, but no one else can see it. You know, I remember, because for example, most of the challenges most of us entrepreneurs face funds.
Yeah.
If you don't have funds from, let's say, being funded by family, you have to have some savings, which is impossible at our age. You know, I don't have that much savings that I'm ready to retire and think of a business and just
think
put
of
it
a
all
business
in.
and just invest in it.
No. So, and then the second thing is that there have been some incubations, some supporters, some funds, left, right, center. And what I found as a challenge was that they do not understand, they could not see what I see. I remember I was once in startup incubation, and they couldn't see the potential of my idea. And the person who came before me, the idea was so basic that it, even after having been funded, it still didn't even last for even a year, you know. So yeah, so the challenges mostly are especially telling to people what you really want to build. Another challenge is that when it's so hard to come to somebody and tell them that give me your DNA. First of all, they're like, for what? Why? It's my private type of information.
Exactly.
Why is my data
I
out
would
there?
also ask you that.
Yes, but most of them don't even know why they don't have to give it to us. They just think it's just very sensitive, and I don't want to give it to you because it's sensitive. And I'm like, so why shouldn't you give it to me? They have no idea. It's just that, no, because I've heard people saying that it's very private and all that. But I'll tell you one thing. They are right. They should never just give it out like that.
Yeah.
You know. Now, me from a scientific point of view, the DNA is a very sensitive information of somebody to have. You know. But if I give you a good reason, which most of them actually finally understand, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm happy to do so. People who survived the genocide against the Tutsis, especially the children, are my main target. Because these kids survived at a very early age, as little as 5 years old.
5 years old.
And
less.
today, they're in their late 20s or early 30s.
Early 30s.
And they have no idea who to look for. They don't know how the mother looked. They don't even know where they lived. It's just that they were raised in a refugee camp, in an orphanage, or in a foster family. And all they've been told is that you come from Rwanda, you know? So I come to them and I tell them that with your DNA, I'm able to match you with someone out there that belongs to your family lineage. So what we call isano in Kinyarwanda, relation, I'm able to see it in a DNA structure. I'll try not to use so much scientific terms, but I'm able to see what they call isano and digitize that particular part. Meaning, if I have DNA profiles of 1 million people, sequenced the right way, the way I sequence them, I'll be able to see who's related to who in
who's not.
less than 30 minutes.
In less than 30 minutes.
In a million people. Now, which
Geniuses.
means, which means all these children that survived the genocide against the Tutsis, they are out there wondering. They've had a miserable life. They've tried to heal. They've managed to heal probably, but they still sit back and wonder who could be my family member.
Yeah.
And starting with this year, I'm launching a campaign which I will invite most of the Rwandans to come and bear with me on this. The campaign is going to be Ha undi umuryango.
Ha undi umuryango.
Yes, or dusubizanye imiryango, which basically means give family back to one another. What that means is we lost close to 1.3 million people but we are 14 million citizens today. Now, someone might have lost everyone they knew, their immediate family members, the immediate generations. Let's say father, mother,
sister, brother,
siblings, auntie, uncle, cousins. But you find that that person that survived in a family of 20 or 30, him and I share fourth or fifth generation. Nicho gisekuruza, right?
Yeah.
Which means that person is no longer by himself. As they say, you know. So I'm going to be campaigning for this. It's not going to be easy because many people would want to find families, but I might find some families that are not even bothered to get more people into the family.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so I'm still thinking of how I'm going to have to make the nation understand this idea. But in reality, we lost the ones we love, but we did not lose everyone. There's always somewhere out there that you belong to the same lineage.
To the same
and that
lineage.
is what I want to actually campaign for. And yeah, so the healing part is coming back. We've been healing for sure, but there is more hope into healing. Yes. When you look at, for example, the orphans, the orphans that grew up, let's say, Gisimba's orphanage, Kwa Gisimba, in Nyamirambo, most of them don't have family out there. Very few are able to be picked and told that this is your family. We found you, just because they could be recognized. But now, it's been 30 years. They are not recognizable anymore from how they used to look.
Yeah.
Now they are grown-up men with beards or grown-up women, you know. So it's so hard, you know. But somewhere, somehow, families out there hoping that that person will show up and take them or walk to them. So science will help them. iGiTREE will. So
iGiTREE will, for
iGiTREE
real.
will.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to collect enough database of DNA.
Yeah.
And the beautiful part is that not only that, just we'll also have to, you know, get to a moment whereby we tell even people about genetic information. Genetic information in terms of, like, let them know genetically, generation-wise, what has been into their lives, what has been into their bodies, you know. What should they look out for, you know? What should they reduce on eating? Why should they be fighting acne? Why should, you know, so many things. Yeah, so we want to make science fun.
Yeah,
it's
actually
nerds.
fun to listen to that, and, you know, making me want to get to learn more about it. But let's maybe move from the science part of it, or the iGiTREE part of it, and get to the love of family, to the love of somewhere, of where someone belongs, you know, for the people to understand that. Because, you know, we have things up here and there, and then you end up finding out that maybe I'm not even supposed to be knowing my family, or I don't even want to know them. What do you say about that? What do you think about that?
So normally what causes that is, I wouldn't call it guilt. It's not guilt. I wouldn't even call it ego. But sometimes you go through so much that anger is created within your mind. You know? I'll give you an example. We went to schools with different kind of classmates and children. Some of them were refugees. Some of them parish paid for, you know. Some of them philanthropists paid for. Others family and friends. Others adopted parents, you know. But deep inside there's always that moment whereby, let's say, for example, on visiting day in boarding schools, if a school of 1,000 kids, 300 of them don't have parents, the visiting day is going to be very hard. Because these parents are going to come, they're going to be hugging, they're going to be laughing, they bring them food, they bring them money, they bring them gifts.
And, you know, the sense of just being visited.
Just the sense of being visited, you know. But you are among 1,000 or 5,000 children that have one parent, which is a home, an orphanage. They're not going to visit all of you together. They're not going to put you in a dining hall and visit you all together, you know? So there's always that bit of feeling different, you know? Now, when you feel different, it creates a sense of desperation. It creates a sense of wondering, why me? Creates a sense of envying others, you know? But then at the end of the day, you outgrow it, you know, because there are things you realize in life that we can't change. Because you cannot hate, you cannot beat, you cannot do anything about it other than just realizing that life, it is what it is. But sadly, these children, some of them, after outgrowing it, they also mentally grow. It might be a not so positive energy, you know, and they're like, you know what, I'm actually all right on my own. I don't need a family, you know. Now, that's one point of looking at it. The second point of looking at it, there are some families that have been all right by themselves. They live in their own bubble. They don't want anyone else to fall in. And then if iGiTREE shows up, Deexon shows up and tells them that, yo, actually you can be able to welcome another family member or two, you know, they might not be okay with it.
They're like, we're good.
You know, I don't want to have more family members. I already have a couple of family members from the village that actually always ask me for tuition, rent, buy me a phone.
Can't believe someone else is
You know,
coming in.
now you're going to add up onto that. I don't want that. But that's humanity. Sometimes they can accept, sometimes they can refuse. Because no one can ever refuse if they heard that, oh, that family that is rich, actually I come from that. If they come to you, you'll be happy. You'll be like, yeah, where you guys been? Oh my goodness. But if you come in with, you know, but that is reality.
Yeah.
But which I hope to campaign for and make sure that people actually understand that we're not just trying to bring you more responsibilities. We just want you to help others heal. We are a nation of very few people. We should love each other. We shouldn't have even fought the first time.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm actually very impressed by the whole point of iGiTREE and the impact it's going to have on the people. But
Huge.
huge, I know, huge. I want you to maybe address to someone out there, a young person coming up, thinking of something. You mentioned the challenges, having that person who can maybe invest in you, or even explaining your idea to someone, they don't even understand what it is. So like you who is actually in the making of it, you know, it's still a long way and it's going to be hectic in the years to come, but what can you just tell that person?
I don't want to scare them. But it's not going to be
But don't be smooth.
It's not going to be an easy road. Starting from an example as myself, there are things I've actually came to sacrifice and forget, you know. I don't know how many times friends tell me, oh, it's a long weekend, you know, some of those long weekends. I've never left any of those long weekends and said, I'm going to Gisenyi or Burundi or Kampala. I'm always here. Actually, even these things of waking up mornings and people are going to work at 9, I hate to be at office at 7 and I'm just waiting for the rest to show up, you know. So one, it's not an easy road, but one has to focus.
Yeah.
Second, one does not have to be reluctant and think that things will work out. And also, they don't have to be depending onto funds and support, you know. Why do I say that? Funds are there. There's a lot of money out there, and banks want to give out money. Philanthropists wants to give out money. The World Bank wants to give out money. But the people in between are the ones that play the tricks, and it's not easy to access it. So I don't want any entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur to think that let me start a business and do this, because you're going to suffer for days. But one thing you should put in your mind is, one, be driven. Make sure your idea is impactful, you know, and make sure that you see that it is a solution. Because starting a business is different from just creating a solution. When you start a business, you're going to be chasing profits and money. So you have to put a lot of capital, money, and everything. But if, yes, but if you create a solution money will chase you. You know? Now, I'm not they will listen to make sense. Now, what I mean by that is that whatever idea that comes to your mind, find that one component of it that is a solution and see that people actually need this because of this. Now, that will come in terms of making your market research. Don't just stand up and say, because somebody's doing that, let me do that. You don't know how much time they invest into it, you know? I'm always up latest by 6, earliest by 4, you know? By the time people come and find me at Noshkin at 9, I'm in my 4th hour of work, then going to start their 1st hour. Yeah. You see? And I'm always, most of the times, I'm always the last one to leave, you know? Not because I don't have stuff to do, but it's just because I believe in what I do, and I see it. And I'm not doing it working hard so that I can get something out of it. I'm working smart, of course. So, one, people shouldn't be looking for cash capital. Look for social capital. And when you look for social capital, it's, most people will say it's ichimenyane, just because your father is so-and-so, so you got there.
So now you go there.
Yeah, but trust me, you might have your father so-and-so's and you don't get anywhere.
Or even get there and get out.
And get out.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so one thing to put in mind is that social capital comes before cash capital.
Yeah.
Second, when you're selling your idea, there's what they call an elevator pitch. In simple terms, of course, it's an elevator pitch. You don't have to be with your projector in the elevator to pitch. Yeah. But the idea behind it, let me see. An example, you've entered RDB building. You're just going to register your company. Yeah, but you have a friend on the 4th or 3rd floor. You enter there. The moment you enter, surprisingly, the president has visited RDB.
RDB.
You know, our president has entered RDB, finds you in the elevator. You know, so you don't know whether you have him to the 4th floor where you're going, or he's going to stop in the 2nd floor. You know, so you don't know if you have him all the way to the 5th or 13th. Sorry. So you have to make your pitch right there and then. So you can be 3 people. One who will be like, oh my goodness, Mr. President, you're amazing. I love you so much. You know?
And
or
you're
be
so
like,
excited.
oh my goodness, Mr. President, can I have a picture with you? Or be the 3rd guy who's just going to flow and say 1,000 words in less than a minute, trying to make him understand. The man is going to his meeting. He probably has things on his mind, yeah? And you're trying to tell him how important your business is. So the elevator pitch is, don't think you have him up to the top floor. In your mind, just make sure that he's going to stop in the next floor. So how much can you say in that short time that will make him want to see you again, or say, okay, he doesn't have a business card. Oh, maybe he does.
Maybe.
Okay, he's like, give me a business card.
Give me a business card.
You
like,
know? Or tells the PA, let's look for this young girl or this young man.
Take his contacts.
Take his contacts.
We'll see.
So the trick is in what can you say in the shortest time to make sense. If you want to show your finances how profitable it's going to be, that's going to take a whole hour. If you're going to say how impactful your idea is, that's going to take forever, you know? So have the pitch deck of 20 or 5 decks, slides, or 20 slides, or 100 slides. But also have that one sentence that says all of it. And then let that person, if it comes to finance, let him look at it and say that maybe in finance this should be good. Maybe impactful-wise this should be good. So entrepreneurs, when you see your idea, think of how impactful it should be, because give out the service. If you're doing it for money, just because fintechs, financial technology has money, money is going to flow in, I'm going to start up an e-commerce platform, I'm going to sell stuff online, people won't have to be going to the markets anymore. You'll be so lucky to just make it as much as you picture it. But if you say that I'm just going to create this because it's the pandemic and no one is stepping out of the house, money will chase you. Yeah. So front the money, yes, but don't let it drive you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let the solution do.
Let the solution do.
Did I press that right?
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. So tell me, What's the funniest moment you've ever had in your entrepreneurial journey? The funniest moment.
Funniest. Well, I mean, I'm just starting the journey. No, not like really starting, because I've been an entrepreneur for 9 years.
It feels like a start.
It feels like a start.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. So, funny, I don't know. It's never funny.
It's always serious.
It's never funny.
You guys.
Because it's never funny because you are pressured. You're trying to meet this person, convincing him to do this. You're chasing people to sign your MOUs.
So it could be someone who mentioned your name bad. It could be that made you laugh. It could be
okay.
maybe a mistake you did that was funny, but you didn't know.
All right, I'm gonna say this. I don't know if you'll cut it out, but most of the times when I tell people that I have a genealogy platform, they first think of gynecologist.
That's actually funny.
And I'm like, genes, genetics. Yeah, so
it's actually funny. It's actually because
yes.
also when you said
genealogist.
Genealogist.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God. Mine is very expensive, and I'm like, wait a minute.
who are you talking about exactly?
Yeah.
You're like, who are you talking about exactly?
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Funny moments are like that. But there are moments that I do actually enjoy what I do. Yeah. Because I remember 2021, I was doing market research, but I ended up actually doing one of the purest or amazing stories of my company. You know, I managed to reunite a family that had separated for 68 years.
68 years.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I was in between the market research. You know, these are all things that you have to do for your company. You have to understand your market, your target market, your clientele, your early adopters, people that will come to you faster, you know. And a lady contacted me from Uganda, and she's like, my grandmother died, but she used to tell us that she comes from Rwanda, and I want to use your platform to come and find my family. Now that was 2021, and I was like, I'm still working on the website itself. So the plan was that I'll give the genealogy services to people, but through the platform. Because yes, Rwanda, due to our history, but we are not the only ones in this world that actually have had, refugees and orphans and everything, you know. So I told her, why don't you come back next year, 2022? I might be ready for clients. She didn't listen, which I liked after. So a few days, she sends me a picture on WhatsApp. She's like, I'm at Kanombe Airport. Can you come and pick me? And I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay.
You're here. All right. So now that you're here, I think I'll just get you a hotel, sit you down, tell you that the platform is not ready.
It's not ready.
Come
you
back
go
next year. But then when we start, she had handwritten information on a paper that explains her grandmother, the great-grandfather, who died in 1920, where they lived, the neighbors, where they used to fetch water, you know, a lot of things. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, because my platform, I will reunite families, but not all families have to be reunited by DNA. The ones with DNA are the ones who do not know who to look for. There are those who knows who they are looking for, what their names were, where they lived, you know, how they looked. Now, those don't have to use DNA on my platform. Those ones will use artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, there are some algorithms we built that will be matching people based on their family information, you know. Now, she had all that. And I'm like, this is the kind of information I'm planning to collect from people so that I can match them digitally. And I'm like, let me try this. You know what? It's fine.
And it ended.
So we went to, on her paper, it was that they come from Gitarama, because I knew now it's Muhanga. So I was like, you know what? Let's go. So we went there and went to Umurenje. Then I asked them to collect for me anyone that is 75 and above, you know, and they collect them for 3 weekends. I would go there every weekend for three times. And I'm like, so we are looking for an old man called Rwanda, who had children cold, they lived here, they used to da. The first weekend, nothing. Second weekend, nothing. Third weekend, nothing. Then the fourth week, they called me. Guys from Kagarika, Manda, somewhere deep in Muhanga. And the guy's like, you know, the family you're looking for, we found them. Couldn't believe it. It's like, what? Now, that lady had already been convinced that she won't find her family. She was planning to fly back to Uganda. And I'm like, you did? Who did you find? So they had found the girl's grandmother's younger sister, who was 96 years old when they found her, meaning the grandmother might have been around 99 or 100. So I cut her off the phone, then I called the other girl and told her, you know what, hold on to cutting your ticket. We might have found your family. So after a few days, we drove to Muhanga, entered the village, deeper into the village. Probably there was a signpost, no villages ahead, this is it, you know. So you should cut that out. So we found the old lady, and her daughter and her son, they were in their 60s, all living together. Introduced ourselves, and I told them who we are and what we are looking for. They couldn't believe it. Now, the beautiful part was that I even had goosebumps that day. The beautiful part was that this 96-year-old lady has the exact same stories as this 26-year-old girl who flew in from Uganda. And that was beautiful.
Oh,
and I knew that from then I'm like,
this is
what
it.
I've been chasing for, it actually works. Then I sat down and now built the algorithm, coded with my team, with clear mind that this is important. You see, Rwanda has about close to 200,000 refugees. Uganda has about 2.7 million. Kenya has close to 1 million. But the whole of Africa has 36 million plus. All these people lose each other in the process of migration. Most of them, they don't even know who they will be looking for in the future. Today, as we speak, Palestine and Ukraine, children are being separated from families. You know, at some point, we will be coming in as Rwandans with a solution. The same way Red Cross used to come here in the 1996, 7s there.
Is the solution to Rwanda?
This is a solution from Rwanda. People have to be reunited.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
I'm just actually...
Mind blown. Yeah.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Well, Deexon, it was really nice to have a chat with you and get to know what you do exactly and who you are, because I believe what you do is who you are. I mean, it goes hand in hand. So I'll just go with more like 2 less questions. I saw a ring. That one.
This one, yeah.
That one. What's the meaning of it?
So this, normally a ring on a pinky finger, it's kind of like normally like fraternities and all. But as you see, it has a tree on it, right?
Yeah. I already saw that. That's why I need to talk about it.
Actually, I got it from a friend. And this looked exactly like my first logo. And now my logo right now, of course, it has the tree, and then the human, and then the DNA structural look. But this looked exactly like my first ring. But reason I have it, you see, from my company name, iGiTREE, yeah, I'm also planning to campaign for people having family reunions. And these family reunions, I'll be gifting them rings. That's why I wear it. And those rings will be really expensive, but they'll only be given to the family that has collected or has built the biggest tree structure on our platform.
Okay.
So I'm campaigning for families to get closer and closer, but also they have to be getting gifts. I don't need the family who will get the ring, the very expensive ring, if they are like 1,000 people, but I'll just tell them, family of Mbanda, you have that as a ring. Then
Okay.
you get to know who will wear it.
Who wear it?
Or
Oh,
just frame it, cage it at the grandma's house.
let me know. What
Yeah.
is an advice you could give to your younger self, like in 15 years
I,
back?
15 years back, I'm still young, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, but there is always that one thing that you always want to, keep on your mind, Um, I don't have any for now because
Does that mean that?
I would have an advice to myself if I have a reason to regret over path I took.
Oh, so you don't have anything you regret?
I kind of not, because my life has been a journey. Yes, I did the sciences, then I did mass comm, then I went into the creative industry where I did film. I used to do filming. If you check Muhizi Deexon on IMDb, I'm there. And the movie I worked on is called The Pardon, and it was actually based on the Rwandan genocide story of forgiveness. Yes, so I was the main editor straight from the set, and then there's another editor that finished the product, Senegalese or Cameroonian lady, and after that, I went into modeling and opened up my first company that
Who
was...
have careers like 100 careers?
No. I don't have all of them now. I've been
I
just...
know.
Yeah. Everything I used to do, it would just take me a moment of doing it, and then I
You
either
move to the next.
move to this... Yeah, but they all been like just stages of each. Yeah, because from from mass communication to graphic designing, film editing, then I realized in editing, the industry is very small. That was 2012. The industry was small, so you couldn't even make money or earn a living. And I was making more, or I was seeing that I was paying more to the models. And I'm like, wait a minute, what if I be the one on the camera?
And then you also jumped in it, and then...
I jumped on it, but I was living in Uganda then. And I think I did about 7 billboards and 2 TV commercials, and it was paying. Then from there, I'm like, why don't I open my own agency house? But didn't turn out to be an agency. It was just a corporate communication company called Footprints, and I would help companies advertise. Yes. Up to now, it still exists, but it has actually fed or financed iGiTREE so much.
Oh.
Yes, because people come to me, they need marketing, they need some graphic designing, they pay. They need direction, go-to-market plans and everything. They want to build their companies, they want to rebrand, all that, they pay for it. The moment they pay, I put to iGiTREE.
Okay.
Yeah.
So lastly, in 3 bullet points, what are your future goals or aspirations?
Well, I'm very ambitious. Yeah. Do you know of Minganzima?
Minganzima?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
There are parents that survived the genocide against the Tutsi, but due to what they went through, their trauma was really high, that their lives really are hard to get back to normal and settle down and heal properly. So there have been homes they've built for them, and it's like in Bugesera, in Mwaza.
Oh yeah, no. I just didn't know they're called Minganzima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope to find them family members. Hopefully, I will.
Hopefully.
Even if it's just one, I will feel
At
satisfied or I will be happy. But I know they have family out there. They just don't know who he is yet. But if we get properly huge DNA database, we can be able to see who can be related to who. Second is I want to take this globally. There are wars everywhere. There are floods that people are forcibly displaced on a daily basis. And I want them to stop thinking that just because I don't know where to start from looking, I can't find family. I want anyone who goes through a war from today on, to just know that once I find where internet is, I just get online and try to search, you know. Yes. Lastly, I love saving humanity. So all this is going to be a bit scientific, but all this DNA that I'll be collecting, I tend to get to understand what they call, like, say, genotypes, genetic markers of populations. And once you understand that, you get to understand the strengths or the weaknesses of the body's immune system, or the race or the tribe's immune system, and then you're able to make them proper medicine. So hopefully we'll stop taking medicine from Indians and Chinese. I want to make them medicine. Very ambitious, but...
Very ambitious, but doable.
Thank you.
Well, Deexon, thank you very much. It was actually a pleasure. Thank you for blessing my table and, you know,
Thank you.
talking about iGiTREE, yourself in general. I hope in the future we're going to be sitting again, maybe talking about specific topics related to not gynecologists.
I'm not.
The other one,
Genealogy.
genealogy.
Yeah.
We're going to be sitting talking about specific topics under genealogy or under any social topic that people could be interested to hear. And I hope to see you achieving those goals one by one so that I can be having you again on my table.
From your lips to God's ears.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. Thank you very much. Yeah. And thank you guys for being with us. And I want to appreciate the Living Room Kimihurura for hosting Le Parcours. We will be having a lot of guests here, and we will be letting you guys know how you can survive this path of life. Like Le Parcours, the Deexon Muhizi can also inspire your parcours. And here we are. See you